Sweeney's not. Back to Commissioner DeBonda. Commissioner Ellis.
Here.
Commissioner Clark, or Commissioner Jones. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got a quorum.
We have a quorum?
You have a quorum.
Okay. All right, so let's begin. This meeting's been properly sunshine. And the commission conducted prior to this meeting an executive session to engage in quasi-judicial deliberation to be adjudicated at this meeting and to engage in attorney-client privilege, communication, and personnel matters. First item of business is the approval of the March 28, 2023 meeting minutes that everyone should have received. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Yes, Commissioner Lark.
And Rogers on the motion, and Darrell on the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Item number 2, approval of the March 21, 2023 special meeting minutes, which everyone received. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make such a motion.
That was Sal DeBonda. Is there a second?
Second. Jones, second.
Second. Yeah, Dr. Egloff. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Going on to presentations, item number 3, the Racing Fund March Financial Report. Tracy.
Russell Jones joining the meeting.
Tracy Gottwalt, TRACEEGOTWALT. Okay. Good afternoon, Secretary and Commissioners. Starting with the Racing Fund balance for the month ended March 31st. The beginning cash balance was The beginning balance was $5,866,000. Revenue was $1,637,000. Total expenditures were $1,514,000, bringing the ending cash balance to $5,990,000. Moving on to the revenue and expenditures for the Racehorse Commission. Revenues for the month were $662,000. Personnel expenditures were $525,000. Operating expenditures were $87,000, bringing the total expenditures for the month to $612,000. For the revenue and expenditures for March for the racehorse testing, revenue for the month was $975,000. Personnel was $439,000. Operating was $435,000, bringing the total expenditures for the month to $874,000.
Excuse me. Could we ask those online to please mute if you're not speaking?
Moving on to racehorse promotion, there was no revenue for the month of March, and the expenditures were $26,000. Now, during the comparative year to date for March 31st, 2023 versus March 31st, 2022, you can see there was a 1% increase in revenue, a 7% increase in personnel. Overall operating went up 33%, bringing total expenditures to an increase of 19%. Just to, again, reiterate the fact that that main driver is the contract with UPenn. In addition, there is additional increase in the medical services because of contracting for veterinarians. That is budgeted up in personnel. But you're seeing those contracted expenditures occurring in operating. And then the remainder of the financial statements pertain to the restricted funds. Any questions?
Tracy, thank you. Questions for Tracy on the March financial report? Any problem spots? I mean, anything you see here as we close out the year?
Everything seems to be right in line.
Okay.
As said, there's increases in the UPenn spending, but that was a renegotiation of a contract and equaling out of the expenditures that were included in the contract versus the ones that we previously had in operating. The only change is the medical expenditures with the increase for contracting for vets, but that is adequately budgeted in personnel. It's just personnel is only for the department's personnel, and we don't recode contracted employees up there.
Okay. Sounds good. Anything from Tony or Tom on the financials? No. Okay.
Okay.
All right, good.
You.
Thank you. Again, just a reminder, we're getting some feedback here as folks clear their throat, et cetera. If you could please just put yourself on mute so we don't have to, but thank you. Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
just a
please.
point of order. Could we have the record reflect that you arrived, you're now the chairman of the meeting, and then that Commissioner Ellis is no longer chairing the meeting, just for the record to be clear. So
Okay.
I think we just did that.
I was going to say, we just cleared that up.
For the record.
It's the deeper voiced Commissioner Ellis. All right, thanks everybody. Welcome. Let's pick up with the HISA HIWU status report. Tom Chukas for a brief report.
All right. I'm just going to give you a brief overview of the HISA status. I'm going to break it down operationally, contractually, and from a litigation standpoint. Operationally, HIWU, the anti-doping and lab services, launched on March 27th, one day before last month's commission meeting. That Friday on the 31st, the judge issued an injunction to stop the proceedings with HISA and HIWU and the anti-doping. The reason was the FTC violated its own administrative procedures. When they issue regulations and rules, there has to be a 30-day window. They didn't do that. So basically, the judge issued a 30-day injunction. The relaunch was scheduled for May 1st. I was contacted Friday by HIWU to be advised that based on the Triple Crown, based on multiple tracks opening, that May 1st would not be the launch date, it would be May 22nd. From a commission standpoint, the commission staff, be it livestock workers, be it vets and assorted personnel, are in place and will continue to do whatever is necessary to maintain Pennsylvania racing. Contractually, the racetrack safety program obviously is a letter that we sent. It's the same letter as last July. It's still in place. It's going to be operational for 2023. The IGA, or the anti-doping, has been signed by Chief Counsel. It's been signed by the Secretary. It is sent over to the OGC and AG pending final approval. The lab services contract has a couple open issues. We met with HIWU on Monday, legal counsel and myself. I believe we're down to one or two issues as far as signatories. We're waiting for a response from them. Currently, for both the IGA and the LO and the lab services, there's an LOI in place. So we're operating under the LOI till the final documents are done. The last issue is litigation, and based on the litigation. Right now, there are 6 separate pending cases. 2 of them have been combined. I think it was on the 13th, I believe it was, the Amarillo District Court, Judge Kaczmarek, took the global gaming case and sent it over to Judge Hendricks in Lubbock. So there was a consolidated between the national HBPA case that's in front of Judge Hendricks in Lubbock in the 5th District Court. They consolidated this case from Global Gaming. There is a trial set for tomorrow. And based on the judge's orders, they're going to have the trial. There's certain parameters to work under. They hope to have a decision post haste, but that remains to be seen. The other cases continue to go forward. And there's one additional case that in the 6th Circuit Court, the National HPPA and their associated plaintiffs have asked for the court to do an en banc, which basically means that the full court, 27 members, will hear the case. It hasn't been determined if they'll accept the case, but that's pending. That's where the litigation is, Mr. Chairman. That covers the HISA HIWU.
Okay, thank you, Tom. Questions, comments on HISA or HIWU? So we're looking at May 22nd. Okay. We eagerly anticipate. All right. All right. Well, at least they, whatever the, confluence of factors, I think wise to extend or delay, whatever the right term is, to get past this. So let's see what happens. But thank you. Okay. Let's pick up with the administrative actions. We have several here. Let's do first, if you don't mind, the motion to approve the simulcast calendars. Okay, we have a motion from Commissioner Brenheiser on the motion, and this motion again is number 5 on the agenda, which is to the simulcast calendars from May of 2023 on the Standarbred, and Commissioner Rogers on the second. Discussion of this motion? Hearing none, seeing none, all those in favor of approving this motion say aye.
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 Those opposed, the same sign. Any abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you. And we have a motion to approve the simulcast calendars for the Thoroughbred tracks.
I move.
Commissioner Ellis on the motion. We have a second.
Second.
Commissioner Ruddy.
Commissioner Ruddy, thank you. On the second, discussion of this motion. Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the motion say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the same sign. Any abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you. And a motion to approve the Meadows request to move post time to 12:45 on August 25th. And there's a note about canceling live racing for Saturday, August 26th, and adding a live racing program on Saturday, September 9th, and with a scheduled post time at 12:45. We have a motion to approve those actions.
So moved.
Commissioner Ellis on the motion. Commissioner Brenheiser on the second. Discussion of this motion? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the motion say aye.
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 Those opposed, the same sign. Any abstentions? Hearing none, motion carries. Thank you. Okay, on to the adjudication. Council.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This matter arises under the Racehorse Industry Reform Act and is before the Commission on an appeal filed by license owner Carolyn Vogel. By ruling number 22002 PI dated January 27th, 2022, the Board of Stewards of Presque Isle Downs placed the horse Single Lady on the stewards list for 90 days effective January 27th, 2022. The steward's decision was based upon a determination that following a race on August 26, 2021, the horse owned by appellant tested positive for a prohibited substance, methamphetamine. On February 4th, 2022, appellant appealed and requested a stay and received a stay. After several continuances, the hearing was finally scheduled and held on March 9th, 2023. Appellant did not appear as requested. The commission has had an opportunity to review the transcript of the record and the exhibits of record. Notwithstanding Ms. Vogel's failure to appear, the matter was proceeded forward and a record was made. And in this matter, the docket number is Racing PI 2022 NM-2. And this would be the following order, and it could be done in the form of a motion. And now this 25th day of April, 2023, based upon the transcript and exhibits of record in the above matter, ruling 22002 PI of the Board of Stewards dated January 27th, 2022, placing single lady on the Board of Stewards list for 90 days is hereby affirmed.
I would make a motion to approve that.
Okay, we have the motion, Commissioner DeBunda on the motion, and a second, please.
Second.
And Commissioner Rogers on the second. Discussion of the motion. Hearing none, seeing none, all those in favor of approving the motion say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, motion carries. Thank you. All right. Thank you. We'll go to Tony on industry reports.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, before I start the industry reports, Tom has a couple of housekeeping issues to just address.
Thanks, Tony. Just two outstanding issues. On out-of-competition testing, since the last meeting, we conducted a total of 42, 30 at the Meadows, 12 at Parks. And update on the hotline, since we've been in it about a year, there have been a total of 124 calls. There are 7 that were investigated and closed. I'm sorry, there was 117 investigated and closed. There were 7 still remaining open. Of the calls, 91 pertain to Thoroughbred, 33 to Standardbred. That's all I have, Tony.
Okay, thanks, Tom. Again, for everyone on Teams, if you could just say your name and spell it, please, for the benefit of the court reporter here in the meeting room. We'll start off with Scott Lisher from the Meadows. Scott? Scott, are you on the call?
Hello.
There we go. Go ahead, Scott. We can hear you.
Hello.
We can hear you,
Can you
Scott.
hear me,
Go
Tony?
ahead. Yep,
Oh,
we
okay.
got you. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Hi, thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the commission. March has been a pretty solid month. We started our 4 days of racing. Excuse me, March. Wow, that shows you April. Excuse me. We started 4 days of racing. We were shut down for the first week or so, did some track renovations. Kudos to Bruce Smith and his crew. They did a very good job. Did a little bit more of aggressive work on the track, and seems to have gone very well and is very well received. And other than that, just getting ready for Kentucky Derby coming up and the events all through the summer. Thank you.
Scott, could you just spell your last name for the court reporter?
Yes, my apologies. Last name is Lisha, L-I-S as in Sam, H-I-A.
Thank you. Okay. How about Mike Zellinger from Pocono? Mike? Mike, are you on the call?
Tony.
There you go. Go ahead, Mike.
Tony.
Yep, we can hear you, Mike. Yep.
Okay, just want to make sure. It's Mike, M-I-K-E, Zullinger, Z-U-L-L-I-N-G-E-R. And as just like Scott, we're in our full swing of racing here at Mohegan, Pennsylvania, 4 days a week now. Things have been going good. Handle is strong. A few Mondays ago, we had Ashley hosted the Delaware Valley University and DeVal University. Some college students came to tour the property and check out our operation here. That went very well, and we have a few plans for Derby. We're just getting ready for that. I think we have 3 different bands that day: the Hat Review, NEPA Cornhole, and of course some beverage windows out on the apron. So looking for a good crowd on Derby. It came quick. That's all, Tony. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mike. Barry Brown from Harris. Barry? Barry, are you with us? We'll come back to Barry. Joe Wilson from Parks. Joe?
This is actually David, D-A-V-I-D, last name, Osojnak, O-S-O-J-N-A-K, Parks Director of Racing. Commissioners, thank you for your time. Just wanted to report that last week, we had the HISA accreditation team at Parks, Greg Stiles, Mike Kilpack, and Jen Dornberger, and their team. We are already rope accredited. Safety Integrity Alliance accredited. So hopefully we will be accredited by HISA. That went relatively smoothly. And as everyone else is getting ready for the Derby, we have a big Derby day coming up May 6th, I believe. And we have various bands and DJs and food trucks. All right. And nothing else to report. Thank you very much.
Thank you, David. Eric Johnson, Penn National. Eric?
Thank you, Tony. Chairman and Commissioners, not a whole lot to report on Penn National's behalf. We did have a little hiatus there in the early part of April, so we're back up and running. And like Parks, we did have our friends from HISA come in and visit us, going through our safety stuff for the accreditation. We do have a few things that need to be addressed, and we were working on those as we go through the course of the year. Nothing drastic, but we'll manage it. And like everybody else, getting ready for a busy Triple Crown season, and then we jump right off into Penn Mile on June 2nd, Friday, June 2nd. I'd like to extend an invitation to all the commissioners to come on out and see us that day and have a great time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Eric. Matt Ennis from Presque Isle. Matt?
Hey, Tony, this is Matt Ennis. Last name is spelled E-N-N-I-S. We are underway with our season as our backside is opened on April 17th to welcome the horsemen. We are training and morning schooling. Our first day of live racing is May 15th, soon around the corner. Early April, prior to the horsemen's arrival, we did work in 110 tons of Tapeta surface in our chute area, addressing a concern we had after our meet last year. So that is improved and ready to go. Happy to report that we currently at Presque Isle, for the first time in my 16 years, have a waiting list for our stalls. So good problem to have here at Presque Isle this year. And finally, we are prepping for our parent company's Kentucky Derby here at the property, and always bring a good party and a good time for our Oaks and Derby Day coming up in a few weeks here. So that is all I have to report.
Okay, thank you, Matt. Mike Coran from the PHHA. Mike?
Thank you, Tony. Mike Harant, H-A-R-A-N-T. I'm the executive director of the PHHA, Pennsylvania Harness Horsemen's Association. We're at full swing at Harrah's and Pocono. Harrah's will be adding a fourth day, I think, second week of May. And besides that, we've got sire stakes are just about to kick off. And I just want to thank Ryan Kell especially and Tony for their work, not just on the pari-mutuel sire stakes, but the fairs are right around the corner. And what are we, about a month and a half out from them at this point?
June 24th.
June 24th. So we'll be fair racing very soon. So thank you, everybody. And we'll see you at the fairs.
Thanks, Mike. Thank you, Mike. Kim Hankins, MSOA. Kim, you on the line? Kim, are you with us? How about Todd Mosteller from the HBPA? Todd? Todd's not on. Okay. Jeff Matty for the PTHA. Jeff?
Thanks, Tony. Jeff Matty, Jeff Matty, Matty. David did a nice job recapping everything from a PTHA standpoint. We have our Turning for Home golf outing on Thursday, May 4th, obviously 2 days before the Derby. We look forward to, having a full field that day. It's been sold out now for about 10 days. So look forward to great participation within our membership, a great fundraiser. We're approaching $50,000 raised for Turning for Home, our aftercare program. So we really look forward to pushing that. Just to touch on our horsemen, our owners are very excited. We're going to have our first 2-year-old races next Monday here at Parks. I know many of our horsemen were excited to get their 2-year-olds, some of them being P8 breds, up and running. And I just want to thank David and his program, our program, for starting those 2-year-old races. We ran 74 2-year-old races last year, and we look to at least match that mark, if not top it. So a lot of excitement in the spring. Obviously, unraced 2-year-olds bring a lot of owners out on Saturday morning. So participation is great. Things are moving forward, and we look to tackle Triple Crown season. And I wish you all a happy Triple Crown season. So thank you.
Jeff, this is Mr. DeBunda. If you would mention that we will be racing on Saturday on Derby Day. We didn't do that in the past couple of years, so I think we should mention the fact that we will be racing on Derby Day.
Yeah, Sal, nothing gets by you, Sal. We will be racing on Kentucky Derby Day, May 6th. We're going to have some DJs, some food trucks, all the other good stuff. So we look forward to racing on Kentucky Derby Day. We look forward to racing on Preakness Day, Belmont Day. And just actually a quick note on that, we are changing our Owners Appreciation Day. Normally it's around Labor Day weekend. It's around the time that Brian has the PA Breeders' Day, but we are moving that to Father's Day because for the first time in a long time, Parks will be racing on Father's Day, June 18th. So we look to have a great day of racing, not only recognizing all the fathers out there at our track, but our members as well. So it's a perfect combination. But Sal, thank you. Thank you again, Mr. DeBunda. I appreciate it. You guys have a good day, all right?
Thank you, Jeff. Jim or Mike Simpson from the Standardbred Breeders. You guys on? Jim or Mike? I know Brian isn't here, but as he put it, his right-hand person is here to address it. So Avery Levante, are you on the call, please? There you go.
Hi, yes, I'm here. So first name is Avery. It's Averie. Last name Levante, spelled L as in Larry, E as in Edward, V as in Victor, ANTI, like the word anti. I am the executive coordinator for PHBA, just filling in for Brian at this meeting. So good afternoon, commissioners. If you look at the first page of our handout, it's the transfers into our breeding fund. And as you can see, through March, we're down $6,766 versus last year. And then in addition, we have our newsletter attached for the May edition of the Mid-Atlantic Thoroughbred. We have an article in there on Angel of Empire, our Pennsylvania bred contender for the Kentucky Derby. It was written by Jennifer Starr. So Angel of Empire won the Grade 2 Risen Star and the Grade 1 Arkansas Derby and is now gearing up for the Kentucky Derby, where we expect him to be among the first few betting choices. We're really excited to have him down there. We think he has a great shot, and we're hoping that maybe we'll get our third Pennsylvania bred to win the Kentucky Derby. We will have a presence down there. I will be going myself as well as Brian and Bruce Costella. So really looking forward to it. We'll be getting down there next Wednesday. We'll be out there Thursday and Friday morning, hopefully get some content with his connections. And then in addition to that, just announcing that our Lifetime Achievement Award at the Iroquois Awards will be given to our retired Executive Secretary, Mark McDermott. And then are there any questions?
Okay, thank you, Avery.
Send our best to Mark. We miss him.
Thank you, Avery. We'll go back and give Barry Brown one more chance. Barry, are you here?
I am, Tony. Sorry about that. Thank you.
Yep. No problem. Go ahead, Barry.
So racing kicked off on April 2nd. We are about 10 days into our season. Handle is up, and looking forward to getting into our busy season. Obviously, high volume days, several of them coming over the next couple months. That's my report.
Thanks, Barry. Kim Hankins, one last try. Kim? I don't think we have Kim. I don't believe there's any public comment. Mike, anything? Mike?
No, sir.
Nope.
No
Okay.
public comment.
Okay. That's it, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, Tony, thank you. Again, I appreciate the industry updates. Good to hear from you, and looking forward to a good season. Thanks for noting the fair season kickoff. Any more you want to add in the fair season, Brian or Tony?
Brian, you have anything you want to add on the fairs?
This year, we're only hosting 20 events, but I hope that everybody has a chance to go to at least one fair this year, because we are hosting 20 events. That gives everybody an opportunity to at least attend one. I mean, 20 out of a whole state, I'm figuring we can get some commissioners to go by. I might be able to go through some today, but all in all, I just want us to make sure that we work as a team and get these fairs going. More people we get going, the more people we got interested, the more people interested, the more people we have involved in racing.
Thank you.
That's good. Ryan, thank you. And Tony, thanks. And looking forward to it. Anything from commissioners that we've missed or need to note? Appreciate Commissioner Ellis stepping in to kick the meeting off. Just want to say thanks to Tony and Tom and the staff and team. I think we sort of, all sort of feel a little fatigued over HISA and HIWU, but you guys live it. So thank you. And council, thank you. All right. So stay tuned. It sounds like that what we need to do is in motion and have our respective letters in the right place. We'll just wait for final action determination on May 22nd. With that, not seeing or hearing anything else, a motion to adjourn, please.
So moved.
Commissioner Ellis on the motion and Commissioner Rogers on the second. Okay, everybody said aye. Yes. Okay, safe travels in between.